Hey guys, it's Brian Azio, Hebrew Hearts. Notice the haircut. It's new. I almost got picked up for violating vagrancy laws. Well, not this time. But so earlier today, I get off of my morning job as a peer specialist, and I was like, go get a haircut now. How you doing this weekend? Like, no, now. And it kind of made sense because I got invited to a Jewish synagogue next Monday. Sorry, back it up. Next Monday, but it's supposed to be today, like right then. So I went and drove way out of the way, get my haircut, normal place. I go home, I sleep like 2 hours, and I wake up, and it's like this nudge. It's almost like an angel was kicking my feet to wake me up. Like, all right, why am I awake? Why am I awake? So I look at my phone, and this guy I know who heads a magazine. It's like and there's a collection of artists and writers and poets. He has his magazine. And as far as I knew, that's all he had. And I've been trying to get in touch with him for a long time. He wrote me like a little bit back, but we hadn't really thoroughly talked. So I saw he's in Chattanooga today, which is 10, 15 miles from where I live. So I was like, well, wow, he's in Chattanooga today. So I ride him, and he's like, well, I'm at the radio station. I'm like, well, he's at a radio station. Maybe he's hanging out with some people he knows. So despite being 2 hours of sleep, I get up and I go. So I just felt really strongly nudged to get the haircut. And I felt really strongly nudged to dress nice. Like I'm going to work after this in mental health. There's no need to dress nice. So I got kind of somewhat dressed up. It's really strongly nudged to do so in that. And then I felt I was supposed to take some business cards with me. And I did. My ministry business cards. A couple of them. And I go to this radio station to meet him. And it turns out I didn't just meet him. I met the guy that runs the entire station was there. And he was there. The magazine guy was there interviewing people to be on the radio show. Like, to see which writers and poets they're going to have on the show. And he's interviewing people. So they're there and they got all their stuff together. And they got their notebooks and their notes, and they've prepared and practiced and chosen their selections and all this stuff. And I'm just there to hand the guy a book and walk away. It's like, hi, Brian, good to meet you finally. Here's a copy of my book. And I'm sitting in the waiting room, and I end up meeting this musician, and we had this big, long talk about David being a psalmist and all this stuff. And he's a musician, so you're probably listening to my lyrics to music after like 10 years of trying to get that done. And then there's another musician there. Similar thing, and he's not just a lyricist, he's a songwriter. Ended up meeting him, and they both want to get together later at some point. And then there's this lady there who runs a small publishing company, and her husband's there, and he does a publishing company with her, and he's a writer, and he's coming into radio. So it's like, wow, total divine appointment. Glad I got the haircut this morning. Glad I dressed a little nicer. Glad God woke me up after 2 hours so I could be to this thing on time. Because I'd slept 8 hours through like I was supposed to, then I would have missed this whole thing. And I should be utterly exhausted and wiped out, but I woke up randomly after 2 hours and like, nudge, get dressed. Get your hair cut today. Dress nice, take some business cards in there, all this stuff. And I just go to hand somebody a copy of my book, which I happen to have one copy left somehow, some way. Only copy I had left. And there's a radio station manager for Chattanooga there, and a lady owns a small publishing company, and her husband, these two musicians that are really cool, that I really like to maybe put some music to my lyrics, and end up interpreting dreams for people in the waiting room at the radio station. And we're just like sitting outside the studio because since people were recording, waiting on the guy I wanted to meet to come out. And I could have met him right away, but he's like, hold on, I'll talk to you a little bit. So I gave him my book, and he comes out later, and he gives me a copy of his book, which is awesome, and invites me to a poetry reading. And he also invites me to be on his radio show in December in Chattanooga. It's like Chattanooga-wide radio show to read some of my lyrics on the air. So I'm like, wow, I did not expect all that. So, but I woke up this morning really depressed and out of it and exhausted. But and all of that happening today, there was no big, giant, booming voice saying, Brian, get your hair cut, or Brian, get out of bed. There was none of that. I didn't have a dream about any of it either. I never had a dream about the magazine guy, never had a dream about these other people, never had a dream about a radio station. I've never had a dream about anything. God talks to me in dreams usually. That's the main communication source, is dreams. And the dreams have like almost dried up. I have vague dreams I barely remember. There's like a little tiny bit of something, and I'm not remembering my dreams. The ones I do remember make no sense at all to me. So, they just don't make sense. And I'm a dream interpreter. So if I'm not having dreams that I remember and understand, I feel like God's not talking to me. And of course, I don't have the big booming voice, and I don't have visions, and I don't have these ecstatic experiences that most people say that was clearly God saying something. I just had these nudges, and I was really bitter about that for a long time. It's like, God, why don't you talk to me the way you do? Fixing this camera. All these other people, where they immediately know it's you and know exactly what to do, and they know like in 2 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever what's going to happen, or 2 to 4 years or whatnot. And so I was really bitter about it, and I was always like, well, sometimes I think God's talking, but I'm not sure that's him, because it's not a clear verbatim thing. But today that was definitely him, because I just randomly got a haircut after like a month. Just kind of like, get a haircut now. I don't care if you're tired, go get your haircut. And dress nicer. And, after 2 hours of being asleep, my alarms are set for 8 hours later, 7, 8 hours later. 2 hours of being asleep. Wake up right now. Look at your phone. Look at the events thing. I look at it and, oh, okay, well, this guy's going to Chattanooga instead of 2 or 3 hours away in Georgia. And you got a copy of your book left. You got one copy left. Take it with you. So I didn't think I had a copy, but randomly the day before, I was cleaning my car out and saw, wait, I have one copy of my book still. Take some cards with you. Even though you have social anxiety, go talk to all these strangers. Talk to the guy playing guitar in the hallway. Talk to that long-haired guy who looks like he's in Nashville. Talk to this couple in their 50s, like church people. And my social anxiety self would normally drop a book off on the way. No, wait around to talk to the magazine guy. So, and I know him through a totally other divine appointment, which is someone helped me through a very tragic situation, ended up being on his staff. So I've tried for a couple of months to get some writings to him and whatnot, and it never worked out. And I was really bitter and discouraged, and like, well, maybe